Hi, baby.
Hi, baby. I'm great.
I can see you've had red wine in that glass.
Okay.
And I haven't.
Well, let's get started with that then.
Welcome to Deuber Table.
Right now we have a little Barolo here, and there's a little bit missing from it. Sure, I had a little bit.
Inspector Gadget over here.
Oh, what do you got there, babe? What kind of
Red
cabbage?
cabbage.
Red
my,
cabbage?
My grandma from Millersburg, Ohio, they always had red cabbage. So cute.
How many people have walked past the red cabbage in the supermarket and never cooked the damn thing? Maybe you had it at a restaurant. You're like, I'm not going to cook that thing. Cabbage is actually one of my favorite things to eat.
I know. It scares me. I don't know how to make this. Like,
So
what do I do?
I grew up, and my mother made this, and you know, I love my mother. God rest her soul. But she wasn't a great cook, but she could cook the hell out of a cabbage.
Could she? Well, she was from Germany.
Yeah.
She was from the Schwarzwald, right?
We had
Is that how
red
you say
cabbage
that?
all the time, and it's one of my favorites this time of year. So obviously I've taken a whole red cabbage, I've cut it in half. There's half. You can see it has a core in it. And then I've cut that half into
Quarter.
a quarter.
A quarter. Yeah.
But before we get there, I'm going to get some things going. I'm going to put this pan on the heat.
I'm gonna start drinking to be sure.
And take some butter. And I'm going to use about a tablespoon and a half of butter for that half of a red cabbage. And I took a little bit of onion. This is a sweet onion. And I am cutting it crosswise in the very thin slices. You see those in here. So I have maybe 2 tablespoons of sweet onion in here. I'm going to put that in
You're talking about the white sweet onions, like this thing.
Yeah, that thing, exactly. Sometimes
Like
they
the
call
Texas
them,
onions, I think.
yeah, they call
Vidalia.
Vidalias or sweet onions. The Texas one, they tend to be the onions that are not round, but they're kind of like squashed. Tend to be the sweet ones. Although noonday onions are sweet and they don't tend to look squashed like that. I'm going to add a pretty good amount of salt to this. That's going to allow the water to release, and that onion, rather than brown, is going to kind of melt. Even more butter in that. So here I have shredded a quarter of that cabbage. So I'm going to take the core out because we don't want that part, and then I'm going to slice it very thin, crosswise. So like I said, we have half of a head of red cabbage here. And I don't even necessarily care if I get all the way to the end, because at the end, the ribs get whiter and thicker, and they're not as tender. So
It's just like with lettuce.
yeah. And then I'm gonna take that.
So this is a quarter.
And, babe, why don't you go ahead and dump that in here?
So this is a quarter.
And that's a quarter. And then pick up the rest of it and dump that in there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna throw that in there.
So a half.
So I
Half
put
of the cabbage.
half a cabbage, and it's not a huge cabbage.
They're tiny. I feel like are all of them that tiny?
These
Or
are
do you always get the tiny ones?
I get the organic ones. So now I'm taking
They're not Monsanto.
a healthy dash of
Salt.
salt.
Ding ding
Salt.
ding ding
There
ding.
you go.
Have you guys ever seen this? This is called a salt pig. Okay. So my mom bought this for Mark for Christmas one year, and he unwrapped
I thought it was a plumbing fixture.
He was like, "Did you get me PVC pipe?"
Did you get me like a quarter PVC pipe, and it doesn't even flow through because
Yeah.
it's solid on one side. I'm like, huh. What do
It's
you
a
do
salt
with that?
pig.
But it's actually one of the favorite kitchen gadgets I've ever gotten.
Yeah. So mom, you did good. Like this is really the only gift that I've ever seen Mark use.
All right.
Ever.
Let's look at what else we've got to put in here.
Salt pig.
Let's not get too sidetracked.
Sorry.
Caraway seed. Maybe that looks like 2 teaspoons. Teaspoon and a half of caraway seed.
I'm not a huge caraway seed girl.
It's great with red cabbage.
I know.
Anise seed. In Germany, we always, so you need vinegar. Carrie again taught me the importance of vinegar. In Germany, they add sliced apples. I'm just going to add some apple cider vinegar. Babe, why don't you pop maybe 2-3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in there? Let's do a little red wine vinegar. And this time, let's use your right hand so you can see you do it.
How much would you like?
Same amount.
Yeah, that's good.
And maybe let's
Vanna
add.
White.
Let's add a little Barolo.
Ooh.
Just any red wine. This happens to be what we have open. Same amount again. Yeah, that's good. All right, perfect.
There you go.
Give
So
that
when do
a-
you put the brown sugar in?
Oh yeah, add some brown sugar. Maybe add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar.
Sounds good.
I put,
Sounds good for something.
a nice amount of salt in there, and then let's cover it.
Yep.
Lid. Lower the heat a little bit on this stove. We just move it over here. It's going to kind of steam, and we're going to walk away for 20 minutes. And when we come back, it's going to be
Go
perfect.
lay down for a minute.
Okay.
Enjoy my wine.
Deuber Table.
That's right.
We're back. Zuri joined us because she loves red cabbage, don't
Yeah.
you? Yeah. Rolls her eyes.
I roll.
We're gonna wrap up our red cabbage, and then we're gonna make something to go with it.
I need one of these so that I don't have to like change every time.
Here's our beautiful red cabbage. We'll ask your Steppy to get you one.
Ray!
Here's our beautiful red cabbage, and I like to drain it into this so it's not so liquidy.
I need one of these shirts like that is the sous chef one or something.
Well, there is our red cabbage, and we're gonna eat that with something in a little bit. Do you want to try it, babe, and tell me if it's any good?
Sure.
What do you think?
It's really good.
Too vinegary? The acidity is great.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really good.
I love it.
It's very acidic.
But I love it.
Ray, you want to try it?
Sure. You probably wouldn't want it by itself, but with food, with like something else, it's great.
Yeah, it was pretty tart.
But it's supposed to be. I grew up eating this.
I know.
It's very German.
You've told me that before.
Caraway seed. Do you get the caraway seed?
I get it.
Okay, it's good. Okay, we're gonna put this aside.
Get it.
Who
I
eats
don't know.
red cabbage without something to go with it? Would you just eat a bowl of red cabbage?
No.
No, you wouldn't do that. I mean, you might just drink a glass of red wine.
Yes. Clink.
Like, okay, so we're finishing our Barolo. So you remember we made red cabbage.
Now,
So
we're going to make some salmon to go with the red cabbage.
grab that.
Mmm.
This is ORA or Ora. I don't know how to pronounce
O-R-A,
it.
right?
I think it's Ora King Salmon.
It's the only one he will get and eat.
No, I will eat Copper River salmon.
Oh, that's
So
right. But
this
that's
is-
not year-round.
This is a tiny piece. Yeah, Copper River's like 2 weeks of the year. It's very expensive.
God,
this
it's
is
good.
pretty expensive, but
Yeah.
people say all the salmon's the same, but this
Not.
North Atlantic salmon, what do they eat? What do they feed the North Atlantic farm-raised salmon?
Corn.
Corn. Where in the natural state of affairs is a salmon going to interact with a corn?
With a human.
Yeah. So
Humans, what is it? Humans, the only overfed, what is it? The only
the o-
animals in
The only animals on planet Earth known to have a weight problem are humans and any animal unfortunate enough to be fed by humans. We didn't come up with that. We read that in our
Yeah.
heard about it in a
we ripped that
documentary.
off.
Yeah.
But it is true.
So I'm going to divide this. So obviously it's a small piece of salmon, but anyway, I'm going to cut this. I don't like the skin on the
I
salmon.
don't either. It's too fishy.
So I'm taking the fillet or the fillet.
So is this the fatty side?
So this side is the fattier side.
This one.
It's pretty thin. Man, I
You really threw a lot right there.
I screwed the pooch on that one. Should I get a new salmon or should I just eat this one? Okay. Well, I screwed the pooch on that
Man
one.
wants to be a surgeon.
I lost some on that one. Let's do this.
Cut.
Babe?
I'm kidding. Okay, this is, I love this. Okay, so these are sesame seeds, right?
So let's put it on this one.
Black and white sesame seeds.
So we're gonna make the salmon 2 different ways because I know it pisses Cary off every time.
Yep.
But I cook everything. I like to give people options.
And then it gets confusing.
Doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay. Am I doing this right? Did I?
It's confusing.
It gets
but I
confusing.
want the whole thing.
Okay, I
covered,
was just
so-
making sure that was
yeah.
a proper layer.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't want to hear it.
let it spill out over the edge.
Okay, I was trying to be neat. No.
Let it. Don't
Like-
be neat. Sometimes you need to be sloppy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna salt these a little bit. There we go.
Perfect. See how I like, huh?
That's not a little salt.
Yeah, it's a lot of salt, huh?
That's a lot.
So let's look at this.
I like the texture
I know
that these
why.
help with.
I know why.
Stainless steel pan. These are heavy, they're copper based, but you don't need copper. They can be stainless, but this is a heavy pan. People want to cook fish in non-stick. Don't do that.
No,
Don't do that.
non-stick is only for eggs.
So if you put this pan cold on the stove and you put oil in it, when it's cold, the fish will stick like you wouldn't believe. So watch, we're gonna put this pan on heat and we're just gonna leave it there. I should have put the pan on the heat before we even started
Should've.
messing with the fish.
Yeah.
Because now we have to have some filler.
I'm so tired.
Have a glass of Barolo. Get a little more tired.
Yeah. I did.
Right, Zuri?
I did that HIIT class today, and it is kicking my
Tiring.
ass. I think. Yeah.
It's very tired.
Very tired. It's
Makes
very
me
tiring.
very
Listen to Zuri, it's very tiring.
Yeah.
So we got that pan sitting there. I feel like the longer it sits there over heat, the better.
Yeah.
So that pan is on high heat. You don't see the flame, but the stove, I promise it's 900 degrees where that pan is sitting.
I think it was 900 degrees in my yoga class today.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's look at what else we got here.
It was Friday.
You saw the sesame seeds?
Yeah.
We got some butter.
So this
We
piece,
use a lot of butter.
you just put salt on.
We got, yeah, we're doing the two different pieces. Usually
I know
I'd have
why
that
I
thicker,
put
but
salt
whatever.
on.
We got some thyme and some garlic.
What, sweetie?
I know why.
I'm gonna
I
get
put
rid of
salt
this.
Why are we putting salt on?
So
We
then
got a little
it-
lemon here.
so
We're gonna use
then
that in a
when you
minute.
Put it on the stove, it melts.
Grapeseed
So then-
oil.
And then you add.
Please don't cook super high heat with olive oil. It burns and smokes. Use a high smoke
Grapeseed.
oil. So I have a feeling this is hot enough now. Oh yeah, look at that. It's
Like
like
it like dances in the pan.
dances. So I have a thick and a thin piece of salmon. I'm gonna cook the thick piece. I'm gonna put in first because this is gonna take longer to cook. Where'd that other piece go? Oh, there it is.
So this is just the one with salt.
The other piece is thinner, so it's not gonna. Look at that. Didn't stick at all. Do you see that sliding all around?
Yeah. I can.
Because the pan was hot first, right?
Yes, exactly. Very loves salmon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you eaten anything today?
No.
That one's face down.
So that one's face down. For a little flavor, I'm gonna take some of this garlic. I'm gonna cut it in half. I'm gonna throw a little garlic in the pan. And I'm gonna throw a little thyme in the pan. And maybe I'm gonna throw a few 2 tablespoons of butter in the pan. Now I got butter in there, and I'm just gonna baste this with the butter. I'm not even gonna turn this salmon over.
Oh, butter.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. All the white lines are gone.
Yeah. You see how that happens?
Yeah.
See how it looks cooked?
Yeah.
So you can see here, I have not turned the fish over. I've cooked the thicker piece first, but it's pretty much cooked through. I'm going to take the thinner one off first, and I'm going to put it to drain it a little bit, and then I'm going to put the other one, and I'm going to drain that one too.
Do you have tomato water?
I do.
That's my favorite.
Yes.
Okay, stop cuddling.
Okay.
All right. So we got 2 plates here. We're going to plate this 2 different ways. I'm going to turn this fish over. Look at that beautiful piece of
Oh, so
salmon.
pretty.
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful piece of salmon. This one we're going to put in this plate.
Yeah, it looks cool with the sesame seeds.
And this one we're going to plate here. We're going to take some of our red cabbage.
Really?
Red.
You
And
know?
we're going to garnish with that. Sometimes I would do a little mashed potato with this.
Mashed potato. Yummy.
So that's one of our salmon dishes. Maybe we'll give it,
A tomato.
we did some oven dried tomatoes. Let's put some of those in there. and maybe a third one here. We've got some tomato water here. We steeped with a little lemongrass. Maybe I'll do a tiny bit of lemon juice in that. And we made tomato water before.
I love tomato water. You literally just drain the tomatoes and the water comes out. You don't have to cook them. Didn't we do an episode on that?
We did. We
So
did.
you guys can look up our tomato water episode.
Yeah.
And this one we'll do with a little basil oil. We'll-
Love tomato water.
Maybe we'll put a deep fried basil leaf on this one.
I'm just gonna.
Maybe we'll put a deep fried basil leaf on this one. That looks pretty, doesn't it?
That does look pretty.
Maybe it's too much. I don't know. Who cares? Can it be too much? So,
Yes.
you want to try it, babe? Yes. Which one do you want to try?
I love tomato water, but I'll do both.
So this is ORA or Ora King salmon, and seriously, try it. Try it over the Atlantic salmon. It's amazing. It
Way
really is. It'll blow your mind how rich it is. They call it the Wagyu of salmon.
So good.
How's a red cabbage with it?
Really good.
I'm gonna try
The
this one.
acidity is nice with the fattiness of the salmon.
So this one has acidity because we use lemon juice and tomato water.
It's really good. I need a spoon for that though, because I need to get the tomato water with it. Good, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is my favorite.
So this is kind of a dish that I had at David Bellay's restaurant in New York in like 1989. Look at how medium rare that is.
When
It's
you were two,
amazing.
right?
When it was 2. So good.
Happy dance.
So good.
So good.
Deuber Table.
Salmon 2 ways.
So we did use some butter, but it's really good.
Butter's good for you. You know what's not good for you? Salmon that eats corn.
All right. That's it for Deuber Table today.
I hope you guys enjoyed. Cheers. Salmon 2 ways. Amy.
Can we switch sides?
Sure, we can switch sides. I have a zit on this side, which is why I was wanting to be on that side, but
Can you move
I think it's getting bigger by the minute.
towel
you know?
too?
Yeah.
Keep on too much heat there. Let's take a little bit. So let's do a little red wine vinegar. And this time let's use your right hand so you can see me do it. All right, perfect. Now let's, I put, you know.
See, I'm good for something.
Love you.
We'll be back. I love you. Okay,
We're gonna start something to go with this. So I'm gonna
let's
stop
just
the
roll
camera.
it. No?
I'm gonna stop it for the break.
Okay.
And we'll restart it.
Welcome to part 2 of the Deuber Table. Take 17.
Is it really part 2? I mean, we just made red cabbage.
It's not part 2. It's just,
Who
I
eats,
guess-
who
I
eats
don't know.
red cabbage without? But I got a giant piece in the fridge. But we've been eating all day because we filled like friggin' 7 of these today already.
we
So
filmed.
we're pretty full.
Have you eaten anything today?
No.
And then